Welcome back to Real Talk for Women of Faith, brought to you by Inner City Women of Faith. You can find our ministry anytime at innercitywomenoffaith.org or on most social media platforms at Inner City Women of Faith. This week, we're continuing our discussion with our panel of men. Pastor Omar and Pastor Rondell from Faithful Central Bible Church are back, and they are being joined by Ed Edwards, who is not only an amazing DJ, but he is also a minister with the Eagles Movement, which is an arm of Inner City Women of Faith. This discussion, girls, got so good this week that we had to break it in two parts. So why don't we jump in right now to part one of all the things men wish we knew, but they're never going to tell us. Listen carefully. This is good stuff. I'm actually going to start with the man minute discussion. And I'm going to throw this to Rondell to explain a little more clearly, but he broke this down for me and it changed my life. When you're having a discussion with your man, give him a man minute. So go ahead, Pastor Rondell, explain for our ladies.
So the man minute. I think that men, we process what we want to say. We're thinking about the impact more than, even our own agenda and what we want to say, or I guess they tie into two, but the impact of what I'm about to say, what are the repercussions of that? And based on that, it causes us to think longer and wait to respond, because there are certain responses I absolutely don't want. There are certain responses I'm afraid of. This can go from a 5-minute conversation to a 5-hour conversation based on how I respond. So if I feel like my response is going to cause you to erupt emotionally, I'm not going to say anything. And it doesn't even mean that I have the right response 5 hours later, but you better believe I'm not going to say anything if I think that this conversation is going to go well into me watching the basketball game or going somewhere that I need to go. And I'm like, no, if I say that, I don't have another 2 hours right now. So let me not say that. So that's one aspect of it. The other part of it is that we need time to process. Like we don't like to wear our emotions on our sleeve. We don't like for you to force me to say something just to appease you. So we'd rather think about it, contemplate. Is that smart? Is that okay? Right? Our logic plays a huge role in that. So if you bring an issue to us and it's an important issue, realize that the man minute, I'm taking that minute because it is an important issue to you and to me. Now, the way women process that is that I'm not paying attention, I'm uninvolved, but really what I'm thinking is because I'm taking my time, this is translating to you that I care. But it is translating to you that I don't care. And I'm like, no, if I didn't care, then I would just say whatever's on my mind. And I wouldn't care what you thought about it. You know what I mean? But the man minute can last. Women, bear with us. Sometimes the man minute can last 3 days. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can tell us something, you have a concern, you have an issue, right? And we don't say anything about it for 3 whole days. Sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 20 minutes after you tell us. Sometimes we're watching a TV or something and you come tell us something important and you think, oh, we're just ignoring you. And it's like, no, even while I'm watching TV, this thing starts consuming my mind. And I'm thinking about it while I'm watching my TV show or while I'm watching the game. And I'm like, think she did say that. Oh, well, that does line up. Or you're right. And I'm processing it. So I might come back to you 20 minutes later to talk about it. But I think when women say it, they want a response right away or what have you. But I might not have the best response right away. I don't want to give myself that much credit. So I think that women have to allow their men the man minute. And generally, and I learned this about myself, not a lot of men even know that they need a man minute. I had to learn this about myself. I learned this from Ron Carpenter. And Ron Carpenter says, when you don't give a man the man minute, he goes into the cave. And he says when he goes into the cave, you don't know when he's coming out. And you might not know he's in the cave because he can be in a cave while having dinner with you. He can be in a cave while having sex with you. He can be in a cave while spending time with you, and you have no idea that he's completely checked out. Right?
Wait, stop, because you just dropped something. So wait, stop. He
does not like you.
Because that is like, okay, so stop. So number one, until you just said that, I equated the cave and the man minute as the same thing. But they're not. Because the man minute means I'm still connected with you. I'm just processing. Even though from the outside as a woman, it looks like he's disconnected, he's not. He's just processing. But going into the cave means I'm disconnected.
I'm running. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to discuss it because you are unlogical. You are not hearing what I'm saying. You've already assumed that I don't care. So guess what? Since you assume I don't care, fine. I'll just go into the cave.
Wow. Truly affirmed by me, what he said.
That okay, I'm processing. I need a woman moment.
and he can't stand you at that moment. Like he, you know, but you know what I mean?
True. No matter how much he loves you.
Yeah. You trying to figure out why he's not coming home right after work and he going to go chill with, he ain't even got to be cheating. He just going to go chill with his friends because he's like, I don't want to be around you. So any moment that I can, we're not talking about the extremity of cheating, right? But he's like, if I don't have to be around you until I go to sleep, then I won't.
Yeah, there you go.
That's real tough.
And that's a lot. That's a lot right there. And I think from a woman's perspective, when he's taking that minute and I keep pushing, it's because I'm trying to connect. And the very thing that I'm trying to accomplish, which is connect, I'm actually ending up in the disconnect. While if I just trust him that he's connected, oh, wow, it just hit me. Women connect with words. So if you're not talking to us, in our heads, we're not connecting. But that's not how men are connecting. They're not connecting with words. If he's thinking about it, he's connected to you.
Even if you get a group of men in the room, we can laugh, we can joke, we'll watch the game, or we can sit there in silence and just be chilling and watching as well. And we are just as well, you know, connected with one another. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you know, you have both sides of that. You know, we can be in the same house and, you know, haven't said a word to each other for hours, you know, and it's like, hey, you want to get some food? Okay, cool. And you go, you know what I mean? So our ways of connecting are extended outside of even our, you know, talking to one another. I still feel connected to my teammates from college. Mm-hmm. I don't talk to them all the time, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I noticed that my wife feels connected to who she's constantly engaging with
me. So, oh, wow.
Is it okay to jump in?
Oh, yeah. Jump in.
Okay. I want to jump in on what Rondell said too. He mentioned the sex piece. Mm-hmm. Now, and I'm gonna come from a married man's perspective, just thinking in the mindset when I was married. It don't matter how much I love you and I adore you and I crave you and all of that stuff. At that moment, like Rondell said, when we're in the cave, when that wife comes to try to have sex, like, okay, that's her way of kind of connecting, or I know this is something that you like, so we're connecting. Instead of me saying, sorry, I'm connecting this way, that furthers us in the back part of the cave. We go further into the cave because now it's like now you're insulting me like I'm just some weak man that you just gonna give me sex without talking about this situation or addressing this situation. I don't even want it.
Mm-hmm. But, and let me get this straight, because I thought that was insightful too. So powerful what you're both saying. But does that mean that's happening in your mind, but your body may still have sex?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And so, sometimes, I mean, when it gets real bad, a man will be like, nope, I'm good, right?
Yes.
But in a lot of ways, his body will still react, but in his mind, he like, when we done, we done. When I get up, I'm gonna get up and go on in here. There's no intimacy.
Absolutely.
I'm just fulfilled physically in my physical nature, which is a need of a man. It's not even a want.
Mm-hmm.
It's a need.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For a release or what have you, right? That is a man's basic need. So he can get his release, but that does not mean he's being intimate with you at all.
And I may exaggerate that point too, at that point that I'm not even connecting with you. I got my release and I'm out. I may exaggerate that point as your husband.
Mm-hmm.
But now when we have the conversation, that can bring me out the cave. But now you push me further in because you further insult to injury with just trying to, like, I'm just some weak man. Now you just gonna sex me and I'm gonna forget about that injury.
So Pastor Omar said something on another show, which is black men, and particularly black men, want to be seen. So if your wife, what I'm hearing you say, Ed, is if your wife approaches you sexually when there's a disconnect, without dealing with the disconnect, she's actually stereotyping you. That you're a man and you don't have feelings, you just need to be sexed and you'll be fine. So she's not seeing you.
Right.
In a sense, yes. She's not addressing the issue.
Yeah. And
she's not addressing you.
And on top of that, and this happens to a lot of women who are not married, is you're trying to now win this man over that you've hurt or in some way, shape, or form. And now you're insulting his intelligence by using your body or what you want to get him back. But what you don't know is he's already checked out, right?
Yeah.
So, and he also knows that sex affects you in a different way. So you give it to him, and then he checks out even further. You ain't hear from him. You didn't call him, and then the next time he hits you up is for that specifically. And you're trying to figure out, like, well, I gave him this. All men want this, and he's like, oh no. I stopped caring about you long enough to just take this from you and not feel any type of way about it.
Question. And okay, I'm just going to put it out there blunt, and you answer me, because this is what it's sounding to me a little bit like. From the man's perspective, when you've hurt me, right? You've hurt me, so you've taken my power. When you offer yourself to me, I know that's going to impact you differently. And if I can take that from you without connecting to you, I take back my power. Is that a little bit what's going on?
We don't even go that far.
Go ahead.
I don't believe we go that far into it. It's just, we're kind of more simpler. It's like, this is what it is. You didn't regard me, which goes into that whole, you didn't respect me. You kind of disrespected me. That's what it all translates to. And because of that, and until we address that, you're gonna get this gray rock, or you're gonna get this shutdown. You're gonna get me in the cave, further in back, and until we address this. Now, after a while, we may start softening up. After, depending on our relationship, we may start softening up. But then we still have that, which is dangerous because it's in the back of our mind. And then if this happens, say 3 times in a year, it just opens up some doors we just don't even want to open. Especially if you never address it. I'm not important enough for you to address it. I'm gonna address everything about you, but we're not important enough to address this one thing. And then to further that, if we bring it up, and then if there's a name calling like, oh, you sensitive, oh, you tripping, oh, you in your feelings, further in the cave.
Further in
But women don't tend to know that. It's just like, oh, you should be a man. I got 10 uncles. My dad wasn't it. My name is Edward Edwards. My name's not their name.
And quiet as kept, your dad and your uncles was in the cave too. You just didn't know it. Like most people. Like
they wasn't in the cave. You put them in, but they was in the
right.
cave.
They was
you
in the
better
cave.
say that.
Right. Yeah. I know a guy right now who in his marriage, he treats his daughters better than he treats his wife.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in the cave. His wife doesn't know it, and his daughters have no idea because he treats them like queens, like pretty princesses. You know what I mean? And I ended up having to talk to him. I'm trying to talk him out of the cave. You know what I mean? Like your wife was like, "Please come out, please come out." She contacted us. I'm like, "Okay, so let me go holler at him." And my conversation with him was, yes, it matters how you treat your daughters, but your daughters are watching how you treat your wife. That's what they're gonna go after. That's the dangerous part in it. So you can treat your daughters amazing, but if you treat her terrible, and listen, they get to see that visual as well. But his wife didn't know that he was in the cave, and he compartmentalized it. You know what I mean? Me and my daughter going on a date, like, you know what I mean, like that type of thing. So.
Okay.
You know.
So I need to back this up because I need 3 from each of you, right? Let's do 3, but just rapid fire because I don't want to run out of time. 3 signs that your man is in the cave, because obviously we women don't know. So 3 signs that your man is in the cave. Go ahead, Rondell. Pastor Rondell.
Short answers. One-word answers. Short on communicating with you about simple things. How was your day today? It was cool. What'd you do? Nah, just, same old, that type of thing. Short answers. Not wanting to be around you. Yeah. You know what I mean? You realize that he usually sleeps in the bed, but he just been falling asleep on the couch. Like I ain't, but and realize that we are also dealing with our own issue of, I don't want your pity either. I don't want I don't want you pitying me or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm also trying. It's a thin line because I'm trying hard to let you know that I'm good. I'm gonna be all right. You know what I mean? As well. So I'm not gonna make it extremely obvious to you that I am dissatisfied. I'm just going to be very, very distant and short, but I'm not going to make that completely obvious because my pride won't. Sometimes it won't let me as well. So if he's short, he's distant from you, and if there is an outing or something like that, he usually don't want to go with you. Like if you got like a friend's date, couples date, something like that, and like, where's so-and-so husband? Oh, he at the house. Because he don't want to be seen. Like he don't want the picture. Like, don't try to make it seem like we this when we really not. So you go ahead and go, you know what I mean, and tell him I couldn't make it, or figure out whatever excuse you're gonna come up with. But those are 3 signs that at least in mind that he's in the cave.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Those are good ones. All right, Pastor Omar, we haven't heard from you for a minute. 3 signs that your man is in the cave. You just put yourself on mute.
No communication. You're just not even talking about it. I know that's what you need, but I'm not giving you what you need because you're not respecting my being, my personhood. The other one is, I had to concur with Rondell. I just don't want to be around you. You want to go here? No, I'm cool. I'm right here. I'm gonna cut the grass. I'm gonna do some other stuff, but I'm not gonna be around. And you will know that. And then I don't really have another one. Those are the 2. Like, that where there's a reversal on the, I'm not gonna give you any. So then, okay, I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna have to learn to discipline myself.
Anyway, thank you. All right, Ed, go for it. 3
I'll have
signs
a
that your man is in the cave.
I'll have a helping of eye contact, the lack thereof. No Google eyes to you, no bedroom eyes to you. The second one, and it kind of touches with the eye contact, but my body language is gonna be way different. And then last for me, for dessert, I'm gonna have I'm not doing all the little things, the little extra things to let you know just how special you are to me.
Actions, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Are we trying to hold my hand?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't be trying to hold my hand.
After our talk, we'll hold both
Right.
hands.
Right.
You know what? I was just struck in that moment how dissimilar but similar men and women are. You know what I mean? Because I guess I never thought about it, but when you're asking the woman what's wrong and she's saying nothing,
Right.
she's in her cave.
Yeah.
How y'all get a cave too just because we got a cave? Wait a minute.
No, but women too. You can tell by her body language, you can tell everything that she's not happy, but she's telling you nothing. She's in a cave. Yeah. I never thought of it that way, but you guys just helped me understand that.
It seems like when a woman's in her, she wants you to try harder.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that when a man is in his, he wants you to be smarter. Like try smarter. Like don't just try to, like you said, don't try to, take me out or you know what I mean, give me sex or something like that. You know what I mean? To show like he's like, no, I need you to address the specific issue. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Ed made me think about this when he said that, but like she cooking, I'm like, I already ate.
I don't even want you.
I don't want the cooking. Please don't give me that cooking. Go ahead,
I ate already. You didn't keep over all.
Oh wow, this was good.
And you know I love your cooking too. None for me.
Yep.
I want you to know. you gonna pull me to the side and ask me, baby, what can we talk about? Okay, now we got
now right now.
So you finally get it. You finally get that I haven't breathed for 4 days. You getting it now? Okay, I don't care when you get it. As long as you got it, let's go.
Right. Yeah.
So here's the thing, ladies. Obviously, the test for whether your man is in the cave or not is not sex. Hear that clearly. I did not hear a single one of them say, if I'm in the cave, I'm not gonna have sex with you. Pastor Omar said, maybe if you've been playing the withholding from me, I might turn around and withhold from you. But that's not the go-to. Apparently, there's a lot of other stuff that your man is signaling to you. I'm in the cave. And he's also signaling, I want you to come and get me out the cave, but I don't want you to come and get me out the cave like I'm a 5-year-old. I want you to come and get me out the cave like you see me, you understand me, and you know what you did.
Yeah. And I've tried to come out of the cave. Mm-hmm. But when I've tried to come out, you've had the same response. So I've given up on being first to try. I'm not doing it no more. You know what I mean? I've tried, and you've given me this. It could be a disrespectful response. You're like, you know what? I'm done. Okay, fine.
We're going to have to stop our discussion right there. But don't worry, there is a part 2. We keep on talking with the gentlemen who share just some incredible knowledge. So make sure to look for part 2 below. This has been Real Talk for Women of Faith, brought to you by Inner City Women of Faith. You can find our ministry anytime at innercitywomenoffaith.org or on most social media platforms at Inner City Women of Faith. If you have not already done so, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We love you, and we hope that you have been blessed. Bye-bye. Till next week.